Hi everyone, Happy New Year and welcome to Nanako's World. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute black bear wearing a knitted sweater. It's been really cold in Alberta, so I wanted to make something nice and cozy. Let's start by identifying the materials we need for this project. We of course need some polymer clay, craft wire to connect different parts, some scissors to cut the wire, please watch your fingers, this needle tool which will be used to attach clay pieces together. If you don't have one, a toothpick is a great alternative. And this lovely knife tool to add the details onto the sweater. If you don't have one, a great alternative is a butter knife. The first step is to prepare and condition the clay for the black bear. You might find that the clay is a little hard and crumbly at first, but as you keep kneading and conditioning the clay, it'll eventually warm up and you'll find that the clay is a lot softer. Now a tip I have for making black bear is to always use dark gray clay because you want to be able to see the details of the eyes. It'll also save you black clay. Once the clay is mixed and nicely conditioned, roll it out into a log shape. Then using the knife tool, cut it into 3 different parts. One block of clay will be used for the head, one for the body, and one for everything else. Okay, let's start with the head first. To make the head, we simply roll the piece of clay into this kind of rice ball shape. You want the bottom half to be slightly wider than the top half because that's where the cheeks are going to be. Next, let's make the body of the bear. For the body, simply roll the piece of clay into a teardrop shape. So we have the head of the bear ready and the body of the bear ready. Next, we need to work on the ears and the limbs and the tail. So we are working with this 3rd block of clay. So, first roll out the clay and cut that into quarters. Next, take that quarter of a piece and cut it in half. Take that half piece and then cut it into thirds. And congratulations, you're left with 3 pieces of clay for the ears and the tail. Alright, so the ears and the tails are done. We will come back to the limbs later because we have to attach the head to the body. Now, I always like to insert a small piece of craft wire before attaching any pieces together. Doing this adds more stability and structure to your overall creation, and yes, it is safe to bake. Secure the head to the body by blending some clay where the 2 pieces meet. And of course, attach the ears using some craft wire. I like to make a little imprint down the center of the ear so that it kind of looks like coffee beans. Why do you make an imprint down the center of the ear, you ask? Because I think it's cute. Once the ears are attached, the next step is to make the muzzle. And for the muzzle, using the ecru clay, we're gonna make the rice ball shape once again and attach it to the front of the bear's face. Here I am marking where I want the nose to go, so that it is easier to boop it on. Alright, time to add the eyes. Roll out a thin piece of black clay to the size of your liking. And put it on to the face of the bear. I have to remind myself to breathe because I have a tendency to hold my breath when I'm putting on eyes. Feel free to choose whatever color you want for the sweater. I decided to use this beautiful red clay that I had. I rolled this piece of clay out using my good old Polymer clay pasta machine. However, if you do not have a pasta machine, you can also use a ceramic mug or a glass bottle to roll it out. Make sure the clay is long enough to be wrapped around the bear. Once the clay is wrapped around the bear, pinch the excess and cut it off. Tip number 2. To get rid of the excess clay around the neckline, I kind of push the clay off to both sides, and then pinch the clay together on the shoulders before trimming it off. Here I am adding the details onto the bear's sweater. It's going to be a cable knit sweater that's a little bulky and chunky, so that is why I am spacing out the lines a little bit. Take your time when you're adding the details, but if you're not happy with how it's looking, you can always smooth out the clay and try again. That's the beautiful thing about polymer clay. It's flexible until you bake it. For the twisted cable knit design going down the center of the sweater, I'm going to create that by braiding this piece of clay. The next step in this sweater making process is to make the turtleneck. We're gonna roll out a piece of clay and then flatten it and add details using the knife tool. We're gonna do the same thing for the sleeve cuffs and the bottom of the sweater. Wrap it around the neck, pinch the excess, and trim it off. So, the next step in the process is making the sleeves. The easiest way to do this is to wrap the arms in the sleeve first before you attach it to the body. Make the sleeve cuff by rolling a piece of clay out, flattening it, and then adding the details. Wrap it around the wrist, pinch the excess, and trim it off. And attach the arm to the body. Secure it on with the needle tool. Second last thing we're gonna add is the legs. So we're gonna roll out 2 little logs and bend the tips. And attach it to the bottom of the bear. Finally, add the tail to the bum, and we are done this project. To make sure it sits upright so it doesn't fall over, to make sure it sits upright, you can push down on it gently so the bottom flattens a little bit and gives it a solid base. Bake in the oven at 130 degrees Celsius for approximately 30 minutes. And there we have it, a black bear wearing a sweater. This was my first tutorial that I filmed, so I apologize if it was a little confusing to follow. I even confused myself in the process too, so yeah, it's a learning curve. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it, and also subscribe to my channel if you like all things artsy and crafty and polymer clay. Thank you so much, have a great day.